Jams, straight
jams.
vibes, uncopyrighted jams and vibes. Ooh, yeah, I can't get
There's
it.
nothing better than an uncopyrighted jam.
That's quality. Hello. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. We are Black, Brown, and Honey with a special, wonderful guest who is not only an actress, not only an improviser, not only a comedian, not only a director, not only a producer, a writer, all of those things packed into a powerful Black woman. We have Shaun Landry here with us. Yes.
I am going to be blunt honest. I'm more spiritual, but I am honored to be around such wonderful, talented African American youth. Y'all, the youth, or as we used to say back in the day, the youth. You are you're the youth. So you're going to make this better for us, yeah? Yeah, you're gonna make this improv better for us. When I'm 80 in 30 years, y'all gonna do that?
Oh, yes.
All right.
We're making that promise right now, y'all. And we are going to, with some help and special advice from you, our veteran, who we're going to carry on this legacy, give you your flowers while you are still here, Icon. Yes. Those beautiful flowers. We sent them in specially.
Yes, they came from you guys.
Yeah, black, brown, and honey. All right, we'll talk after this.
Take that. Hans ain't here. He doesn't need to know.
He can be a part of Black, Brown, and Honey for the day. But we are going to start this night off with a little Q&A of our wonderful guests, learning all of the ins and outs in the industry and what it is to be a Black woman and just a Black person in the industry. And we are going to learn so we can grow and spread all of that information with all of y'all. Then to round out the night, we're going to do a nice juicy little set with Shaun. Woo. So let's get right into it with the Q&A, y'all. Woo.
Ask away.
So we're excited. All right, our first question is coming from the wonderful Ivana. Or Andreas. I was just kidding. Andreas. Just kidding.
Oh, totally fine. Hello, Andres. First question. And it's actually a pretty big question. You said you were a spiritual person. And my first question was, in what ways has improv or performing felt like liberation? I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Every day I do it.
Wow.
Every day I've been doing it. It was funny when I was younger. I started improvising in 82, 83. And I remember the first time I actually improvised, I went to Goodman School in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I remember getting the suggestion. It was and everyone going, well, what should I say? And because I'm African American, for me, I'm like, this in my mind at 16, 17, I'm like, we just playing the numbers. That's the first thing I thought was, we just playing the numbers. We're just, kind of dissing on each other, it's that kind of thing. And then I got up and just did that in character. And then I realized I can say anything. And that's when I realized this is the most liberating thing as an actor I could do. And I've been holding on to that. And see, the thing is, the older I get, the more I give two rats on who knows how old I am. It's so on LA because I still hold on to that joy. I will be 56 in August. I am 4 years away from 60. I've been feeling this liberated doing it and happy and joyous ever since. That's why I've changed my entire dining room into a set, because I want, even in a pandemic, I want to feel the same thing I feel on stage, So the short answer to your question is every day, 24/7.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, I definitely, and I know everyone probably, not to speak for everyone's experiences, but like have found a voice in improv, especially me, like in theater in general. And just to be an African American in theater, especially, it's so hard for your voice to be heard, like in public and in the theater in general. So,
Mhm.
powerful.
Absolutely. And even more so, this is the saving grace of, there's been some horrific, horrible times for us people of color, specifically us. Um, but the surprising thing about it is, now imagine that in 1986. Now imagine that in 1986, when instead of seeing a full room, Zoom room, you're literally the only one. You're literally the only one. So living in this time as a person in theater, if you're doing scripted theater, if you're doing improvisational theater, if you're doing any kind of style of theater, where they break it down as, oh, I only do Shakespearean work, or I only do Mamet, or I only do Brecht, or, I'm throwing down with Angela, or, I'm doing only the poetry of Maya Angelou, the Angelouians, as I now officially am calling them. If you're there are more of us within the community now, but still, with all, it is still being able to have your voice heard. And if it means pushing yourself into having your voice heard, it's like, hold back. It's just hold back. Let me say something really fast, because the oxygen has been sucked up by a lot of people, as I call it, my brothers in Adidas and flannel shirts. A lot of Adidas and flannel shirts have a lot of say in improvisation. It's like, hey, Adidas flannel shirt, I can smell you from the audience. I'm like, there you are. Um, where our voices have not been heard. And in 2021, people are now recognizing, and this room speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. Brothers and sisters who are doing the work and working together and being able to go and create. Am I wrong in assuming that at VCU? Am I wrong in assuming that? Okay, then.
No, completely right.
But yeah, I see, now I want to ask questions, because that's what I do. So, but this is, oh, God damn it. I knew that this would happen, to me asking you guys questions, because I'm possibly the worst Q&A in the world, because I want to know about you guys. I want to know about your experiences. I want to know how you got here. How I got here, you can read about 1 million books, and I'm the most accessible Black woman online at this point since '94. Yeah, everybody knows my business. Um, but I would like to know your business, why you're here. Why does theater speak to you? Why did you go to college? Who's going for a theater degree in this room? Everybody else is smart. Oh, two brothers who didn't raise their hand. No, y'all really know. You need it. You have your minors will be great, guys. My degree. Seriously, my minors in journalism, so that worked out well for me. It took a while. My degree's in theater. My mom told me to go and literally have Happy Mother's Day. She goes, well, just get a real profession. That's what she like. Thanks, Mom. Thanks.
Most commonplace
But
for a theater
why did you?
person.
Yeah, what brought you guys to it? Just around the room, and then y'all can keep asking me. Yes, I see a hand.
Hi. This
Hi.
is such a good question, because I love what you said earlier about, like, just as a Black person having that kind of, just like, we're just, shooting the shit. We're just kind of riffing on each other. And it's just like, that's what it was. Because that's what it was for me. I mean, I went to a majority Black high school and started improv in freshman year. And it was just me, like, roasting, like, the members of the team. I literally was just like roasting, and it was like, you're funny, you should join. And ever since then, it's just been like, I do well. I'm funny. I just do good stuff. I do improv. I do,
Yeah.
you know, performing
And then
arts.
you dig deeper and you find other things like, well, oh my goodness, I can go and take this into a dramatic format
Oh yeah.
and still and I can go and expand. Oh, I can go and take this piece and improvise it because I already have the bones of improvisation, and then I add on and add on, and then your toolbox becomes bigger, right?
Literally. Yeah. That's, I mean, that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Yes.
Yeah, for me, I guess improv specifically, I wasn't introduced to improv until I got to VCU. I had only been doing like musicals and Shakespeare, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I love this. This is what I'm gonna do. And then I took an improv class last semester, and I was like, wait, I'm funny? Wait, I can do this with other Black and brown people. And it just like has been super eye-opening and super amazing to like be with all of these lovely Black and brown people being funny and doing improv and doing theater together and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You started in musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
So did I. And that's the thing. The thing is we are both, I mean, I have all of MGM's musicals because that's how hardcore I am. My goal when I was younger was to go to Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
was to do, you know, and then I realized how often can you do Bubble and Brown Sugar? And how often can you do The Whiz? And how often can you do, you know, patent leather shoes looking up in this? How often can you do that until you are in a great space? Musical improv is amazing. Musical improvisation is amazing. And in the style of a certain musical style, oh, how brilliant is that? So yay, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Yay. Anyone else? This is supposed to be about me. Don't see how I switched this? See, I wasn't expecting this.
You bamboozled us. No.
Absolutely. I totally bamboozled y'all. I totally did a Spike Lee on y'all.
Yeah, but does anyone else want to share before we keep interviewing you?
Yeah. Anyone else? No?
Honestly, I'll just add one more thing about just how great improv is and how we have found ourselves in it. You know, I think I've been doing improv since middle school. I feel like it's probably
Nice.
like the main performance art that I feel the most secure in, regardless of what I'm doing on stage, how wild it can get, how liberating it feels. I just feel like that's my pure self. But I also feel like improv is very like universal. Like it helps people communicate. Like they do improv training in workspaces. People don't realize how important improv is to like developing skills and like just better communication. So improv.
It's so true. I definitely feel that hardcore. All of that. Like it's way easier to just be able to be yourself in a conversation now because you do it so much on stage with like a bunch of strangers judging you. In real life, it's like, oh, I guess this is a little easier, huh?
Well, I have a lovely beer mug that says something that is very vital from actually Kansas City, which is improv is life and vice versa. Improv is life and vice versa. So in theory, if you know, improv helps you better in communicating, in speaking, in interacting. Sometimes it helps with that obnoxious Thanksgiving family member, how to yes and then quietly leave the scene. That's so there is so it helps in a million different ways. So I absolutely agree with you. With that, I'm going to do this really fast. You see, this is how old I am. I have a friggin' landline. So along with a cell phone. This is for my 90s friends. This is for you guys.
The versatility. Oh my gosh. Transcending age gaps.
Yeah, and too old to get rid of stuff. Ask me more questions. I'll tell you no lies.
We need our next question from lovely Mayani.
All right,
Fine.
all right.
All right.
So this next one will be a kind of a two-parter. So what do you feel like's been like the hardest transition from doing improv in person to now virtual, and what do you prefer about it now that it is virtual?
Well, it wasn't that much of a transition for me because I consider Zoom and online improvisation pretty much on camera improvisation. So we're working in front of a camera. What I'm on right now is a Canon XA10 that is HDMI'd into a gaming computer with lights and sound. This is not a Zoom background. This is not a Zoom background. So the transition for, I've said it a million times on a million panels, I was not expecting a pandemic, but I had the equipment for it apparently, because all of this was in a theater, and we were recording our shows and we were putting them up on YouTube and putting them up on that then current online streaming. So for me, the thing that I miss the most about pandemic improv, online improv, Zoom improv, is it reaches out to millions more people, and I get to play with people internationally and nationally. But what I miss about brick and mortar is the immediate laughter of an audience. That's what I miss. When I got my second shot, because old people got their shots first, when Hans and I got our shot, the first thing I did was move my dining room back in here. And now every week we have pandemic vaccine parties of people, improvisers I have not seen. And so you all know I'm opening up a theater because Los Angeles opens up in June. And I'm opening up an African-American operated theater. So I don't know what's going on with VCU or your area at the moment, but know that at least by November, the majority of theaters are going to be back open. Now the conundrum to that is, are people going to feel safe in the space? First off, people have to feel safe in knowing that it's going to be obviously COVID free. But there also has to be the idea of, if you don't feel safe, will Zoom go away? And for me, being comfortable and also still being comfortable in both spaces, there are improvisers who started in Zoom literally last year. People have only seen me from here up. No one has legs. No one literally has legs. No one stands up and does this, So for all purposes, the comfort for me was fine. And keep this in mind, it's not going to be like this forever. It's only been a year and a half. Things will change. It'll morph back to brick and mortar, but we have to keep this activity alive, because for the fact that everybody will see us. Everyone will see us and see our improvisation, both sitting and standing and live. So the transition for me was pretty much saying, oh, do you want to, back in the day before all of this, do you want to be at Second City, or do you want to be on Whose Line Is It Anyway? That has been on television for years. I say both mediums work. And I think we should be doing both of them. That was a very long answer to a very short question.
No.
I hope I answered that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And it also gives great opportunities to perform or meet people that you would not get to meet otherwise. Like you're on the other side of the country from us. It's a great opportunity to connect so many people.
I'm out on the other side of the country, and now I'm friends with people from the nursery on the other side of the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm finding Black Londoners who improvise, and it's kind of brilliant. Europeans of color. It is, the world is open in the weirdest way imaginable, which I find joyous. I like sitting literally in my house around a bunch of lights in quiet. But God, I miss the weird lady in the back going, I miss that so much. It's just like, just that weird person or somebody who just has no social skills in the audience where they're talking to you like you are in a movie. I miss those people. I miss that person coming up to me and awkwardly hugging me who doesn't know me after an improv show. I miss that. I miss them going, oh, I thought that was scripted, even though they're the one who gave you the suggestion. I miss that. So there's, everything's yin and yang, everything ebbs and flows. And I hope that, VCU comes back in their live space, because I understand your campus has an amazing theater out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm. That's the school I had two choices I want to go to, or I had two choices, or actually three: your school, Northwestern, and Columbia. And I ended up going to Columbia. So yeah.
My gosh. Well, we're honored that you even thought about us. Lord.
I was ready to go. I was ready to go and get some of the best chicken in this country out there when I was growing.
Lee's
Food in your
chicken.
area just makes me sad. I said, I got chicken right now. I'm getting an air fryer and I'm totally doing the buttermilk. There's two things, by the way, before anybody asks me anything personally, two things I like to do: improvisational comedy and cooking. It's what I do. Two things that make people happy.
Well, get a show on the Food Network. What are we doing?
That's what I'm saying. I got a whole TikTok filled with my recipes. Will someone please get me a Food Network?
What are we doing?
Just improvise cooking. Somebody brings me a protein, someone brings me a vegetable, someone brings me some wheat, and just sit on the table and then I make something. And I got to do it in less than an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, crisp, 90 minutes. We love it. All right, so we have a question. Sorry, we have a question from the audience. From Blue from Highwire.
Blue?
Yes, lovely Blue. Sending so much love.
Hi, Blue, I love you.
She asked.
I'm sorry I had to hang up with you so fast because I had that audition. I'm sorry, Blue. It's a story. She'll tell you. What's her question?
Her question is, what is one of your favorite things to teach in improv?
Personally, monologues. Improvised monologues. I really prefer doing that. So you can go and get the beats, the ebbs and flows of different types of monologues that you can bring in. So you can go and expand your improvisation out to a 1-act play, to a 2-act play within those monologues. So it gives each character that you bring improvisationally a little bit more flavor. Also the same idea of having a great monologue if you're doing very stylized formats of improvisation, like Armando, which is very stylized. If you are doing more genre improvisation. So for example, if you are doing a musical type of improvisation, like say you want to go and recreate in the style of Bob Fosse musical, then you have to go and do that research, then be able to monologue those particular, before you start singing, monologue before you sing. So it's those kind of structures that work out well that needs to be taught more. Also, the second thing I personally love to do is break down a genre of playwright and see you improvise within the style of a playwright. In this room, who's your favorite African-American playwright?
Langston Hughes.
Thank you. He was amazing. So Out of all of the African-American improvisers I've seen on Zoom, will someone please go and do a genre improvised piece from Langston Hughes and see where that takes you? We will immediately go to music and get a good director coach. That's what I want to do because I love his work. I love his work. So the object is to teach the genre by reading. It literally becomes a book club. Your book club and your rehearsals and your class or my classes and having coming and then improvising within the style of that genre. Having coming in with a monologue that's Langston Hughes in that character, and then having somebody else who is not part of that particular script come in and improvise just with that character in a completely different location. I'm giving all the tips away. And that's the thing, I don't care. Pass it along. We ain't gonna live forever. You know, if you want to fly me in with a mask on and my CDC card, that's great. But until then, go and work on that. And then of course, you know, as always, I'm saying out loud, Facebook message me, see how that works out. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to talk. So I hope that answers your question, Blue. Also, I like to go and teach a class on how to be blue.
End goal. I will be the first one signing up. First name on the list.
How to be blue in a 3-hour master class taught by me, which of course makes no sense.
Only 3 hours? Oh my gosh, the talent.
You know, it's a very intensive class. It is an extremely intensive class that you have to come back for in another month to just refresh on being blue.
It's hard, but I'm down for the challenge. Down for the challenge. All right, let's keep rolling on with these questions. All righty. So our next question is coming from, I think it is going to be the wonderful Makai.
Hi again. I'm loving this whole Q&A. My question for you, since you did Second City and you're a very established comedian, I know Second City is like known for birthing like iconic like comedic legends. What was your experience with it, and like would you recommend it?
Or in other words, what happened? I mean, seriously, here's my tea that's actually alcohol. Here's my tea that's actually alcohol. Thank you very much. I'm here all day. What happened was I started We Be Negroes, which was the first African-American improv and sketch ensemble. And I was taking Second City classes at the same time. And I got hired into Second City in 96, I believe, 95, 96, something to that. I had just turned 30, and which was already considered at that point too old to be a part of Second City. It was like, you know, you had some kind of, exactly, right? Ageism is also a thing. It's like you have a Logan's Run diamond in your hand and it blinks 30 and then they have to kill you. Please watch that movie, Logan's Run. It's really bad. It's great when you're drinking. So anyway, when I was at, I'm really on this drinking jag right now. When I got in, I was hired with 2 other people of color, Martin Garcia, who still works at Second City, and Caesar Jamie. And I was in touring company. I also did the children's show. And at Second City back then and even now, there's a thing, it's actually a show now called The Bench. All of us people who are in touring company would sit on the bench on Monday nights, and then we go up and improvise, and we also watch, you know, the Monday night show. I was there for 2 years. And the best way I can explain myself back then was square peg, round hole. I was a square peg in a very shiny and smooth Second City. Also, there was, as much, it has now changed over and it's so different. But there was the sense of divide and conquer. When I started OBN, it was like, okay, well, if you're not going to hire us, we will just do this ourselves. Same with people of Latino Americans, and the same with Asian Americans. At that point, it was literally the diversity crew all outside of Second City. It was We Be Negroes, Stir Friday Night, Jane, which was an all-female ensemble. It was Salsation. And we were like, we'll just do our own stuff, and we want to work with people of our color. And Second City went, that's great. We would love to have you too, but we're going to pick you, and you, so we can break up your ensemble. Divide and conquer. And when they hired me, I just went, this is great. But I need to go and do these shows at these festivals with my theater company. Like, thank you for hiring me. This is a second job. The most awesome, important second job I'll ever have. My money came from Second City. My love was with We Be Negroes. And I wasn't going to break that. And I made the time. I made the time between both places. I would run and do a Monday night show at Second City, then go literally 2 miles up and be in a show with We Be Negroes at IO, or, at The Annoyance. It didn't matter. I want to play, and I want to play with my theater company and with Second City. Sometimes in a competitive world, that is not a good thing. I didn't find that out until later. I was let go from Second City, and I'll never forget being called into the office, and it was like, we don't think you're going to go to main stage. And I was like, no, that's okay. I'm like, you know why? Because I was at Second City, and I have the pay stubs and the Second City bag to prove it. Oh, you gotta go, bye. And they literally fired me and Caesar at the same time. And I went across the street. I have this in the book. I went across the street with Caesar, and I love him to death. And he was just heartbroken. It was like, was the end all for him, be all for him. And I was like, man, and he was just in tears. I'm like, man, you're gonna be all right. We're both gonna be all right. Just because we got here, and then the next step is Saturday Night Live, or Whose Line Is It Anyway, or any of these shows. That wasn't for me the end goal. The end goal was to be an actor. And the end goal was being in a theater that I wanted to be in. I never shot for, and also that, round square with a round hole, and I'm not that pushy, and my God, it took me forever just to get an actual professional headshot, and now, and oh my God, I'm moving to LA. I guess I really have to do this, instead of my friends calling me up and saying, hey Shaun, you want to do this? It's the goal and the gumption. I've got more goal and gumption now. And even now, I audition for things. I get into things. Sometimes things come over. But what it comes down is round square. I want to build a theater where there is no roundness. I want jagged edges. I want people who are from everywhere, who are a little bit jagged around here, or completely smooth all over, or maybe has a hexagon thing going on in personality. I don't know what that would be, but it seems interesting in my head. So with all that, what happened? I'm me. I'm still very connected with everybody who is at Second City. My friend Bill Cott just came over during my vaccine party. Y'all know who Bill Cott is? He was the principal of Wizard of Waverly. I knew you guys would know that. He's the one in a bolo tie. Yeah. Bill was just here Sunday. He was part of Second City. We were both at Second City together. There's my name drop. If I'm going to literally send this to Bill. Hold on. Bill, I dropped your name like a son of a bitch. Uh, and then he can TikTok that. But that's the thing. All of us are from Second City. He's extremely talented. He's a working character actor. And he's one of the best improvisers I know. And he made his way. And he made his way when he left Second City. Stephen Colbert was my level 5 teacher. And look, I don't know what he's doing now.
Who could say?
I think he's doing some cable show or some network show at night that
I
no
only
one
have
watches.
Netflix, so disconnect.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know, and who watches YouTube anymore, right? So, but for all purposes, yeah, you make your way. It's how where you want to go with improvisation, what you want to do with improvisation, because there are people who are at Second City who never made that main stage, but you know what? They're doing great work, in speaking, doing TED Talks. They're doing educational work. They are politicians, a lot of them in Chicago. It all depends on what you want to do with this art form. So for me, it was to continue to do theater and do it well. I teach now the thing I love in a theater on Santa Monica Boulevard that smells like cheese and feet, and I'm good with that.
That's kind of bougie. Cheese.
No, it ain't the good cheese. It ain't the good cheese. And those feet aren't manicured.
Dang.
And I love every moment of it.
Oh,
I love every moment of the Pack Theater. So the thing is, what happened there, the best thing that could have ever happened, the fact that they hired me, the fact I did great work, and the fact that I still have that Second City bag and the pay stubs.
Amen. We stand. All right, so we stand. Yes, ma'am. All right, so we're gonna get to a few more questions before we get into our little set. So first, we have a question from Candace Harris. Candace says, "I started improv online during the pandemic. What should I look for when trying to find an in-person team in my community? What would you ask to determine if the team/theater is a fit for you?"
First off, you ask those questions. What you go to your local, ensemble, or I call improv teams ensembles. You go to your ensemble because I'm a theater person. I don't do sports. Well, thank you, theater lady. We are the same people, and you ask those questions. What do you offer? If you are looking to be paid, are you a paying ensemble? If that's what you want. What kind of theater do you do? Do you do predominantly short form? Do you do predominantly long form? Are you doing, scripted to improv? Are you doing sketch? Do you do more sketch than you do improvisation? You ask the questions that behoove you. Most importantly, what is, how may I see your alumnus list? And from there, as African Americans, how many in history have you had? How many in history have you had? Do the research, the Google research. If it's a larger community-based theater, Google them. Just like you would Google a job search, just like they Google us to make sure we're not criminals, make sure they ain't criminals. Because sometimes a place can be criminal, and that does not exclude theater. Look up the information, protect yourself before you go into any brick and mortar or any club or any theater. Look them up and see the history. That's for you. Now, on the reversal tip, they might not want you. If you are African American and they do not hire you, do not assume that it's because you are African American. Now, on that tip, if you've been doing improvisation for 30 years and everybody knows you, there are some questions there. Take everything with a grain of salt, brush it off, and keep moving if they ain't for you. Keep moving.
Yes, yes,
Brush it.
yes. Brush it off, shake it off. I know
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
It's like, oh, I'm sorry you didn't hire me. That's all right. Yeah, there's other things on this shoulder. Oh, you want me? Here we go. I'll put you in my pocket. So there's those things. So as a community, look at their work too. If you don't like their work, if you think they're hacking stuff, then don't go. This is all about your choice. This is your choice. That's the thing that when we come back, we need more options to do more things and still be a community at the same time, and still be a community and support each other. It's not a competition. This is us doing the work and being able to see the work. So for example, if you guys are all an ensemble and another ensemble comes to VCU, say for example, for instance, I don't know where you guys stand with your years, but if you are a sophomore at VCU, there you go. I'm looking at you then. You a sophomore at VCU, you're going to be there for a bit. You're going to be there for another couple of years. You at VCU and you're a junior next year, and a freshman crew comes up and says, we're going to do this. We've been doing this since high school. Support the living daylights out of them. Instead of being the competition, you teach them to be the community. You teach them to be the community of theater and actors, and you guys jam together and play together and do the same work together. You still have your different shows separately, but you come together and you play. And then you want to go and get that funding from VCU, from the theater department. Then you guys are a community and you band together to go and have better time, better spaces, better lighting, better sound, better coaches, being able to bring in people for the entire VCU community. And then you take it out of college, and then you take that to Virginia or New York or wherever you end up.
Yes, because that's definitely what all the big leaguers do. Like, I mean, you see all of these comedy writing teams and stuff that just like sprouted out from college and stuff like that. That's deep rooted like that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're talking about that college, pretty much everybody, a good chunk of everybody from the Annoyance Theater is from IU. The chunk of people who came from Second City started at the University of Chicago. So literally improvisation started where you guys are now. You guys are the future of theater. You guys are the future of film. You guys are the future of podcast radio. I would say radio if it was still the 90s. But podcast, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. This is my old person thing. God damn it. Podcast is radio. Jesus Christ, y'all. You on a mic? Yeah, it's a radio station. God damn it. But it's on Spotify. So you are the future of that. So you got to go and keep pushing to make this a full community, because in 20 years, when you look like all of you in general are roughly in your late 20s, 20s-ish, later 20s down, you're like 18. I can see 18 all over you. Girl, you're gonna be like that until you're 30, and everyone's gonna keep carding you. So anyway, so it's just like, I am 40. I don't believe you. God damn it. Welcome to my world. So is this now it's just like, oh, so you're 30. Yes, I am. yeah, I am. But yeah, you are the future. So this is where, when I'm gone, dead and gone, and in my urn, I expect you guys to remember this to the next round of your children, and the next round. It's all about community. It's all about playing it forward, especially in theater. Don't let the history lag. Keep the history vibrant and alive, and keep creating to bring people in to love the thing that we do. And in this case, it's improv theater. And I say it as a general blanket, not improv comedy, improv theater, the whole spectrum of it, the whole spectrum of it. I hope I answered your question, because that was kind of ranty.
So we are going to get to one more question before we get into our
Okay.
little montage of scenes. Does anyone who has not asked a question have a pressing question, tugging at their heartstrings, aching to be answered? Yearning,
Yes!
Ivana.
Do it, Ivana.
Okay. So hi.
And by the way, Ivana, if you don't become equity pretty soon, I'm going to be very upset with you. Keep going.
Heard. So we play this improv game called 5 Things. And so like we go around and we say, what are 5 things you would say to blah, blah, blah. So my question is, what are 5 things that you would say either to young Miss Shaun Landry or to us as young Black improvisers? What are 5 things that you would say to us?
Can I do 10 things? 5 for me and 5 for you? Here we go. I'm going to start with you. 5 things. Get a good day job to go and support you. This is not my mom's thing. This is a life thing. Even if it's a life thing that entails theater, make sure you pay the most important things in your life to keep you alive, which is food, which is a phone, which is a place to live. Even if all y'all need to live together, a place to live. Be responsible in that. Secondly, break the stereotypes from the 80s and 90s continuously and constantly, and be on time for everything. Be on time. If your call time is 7 o'clock and you show up at 7:02, you are too late. If you show up at 6:45, you are on time. If you show up for a 7 o'clock call at 7:30, go home. Just turn around and go home. You're like, I give up. I have life wrong. Go home. That be on time. 3, take it seriously with all the fun in the world. Take what you do, take what you love seriously, even if it is comedy. Yeah, you can be funny as all get out, but take your comedy seriously, what you do seriously. Yeah. Number 4, sleep. Seriously, sleep. Just sleep. Because you'll be exhausted and it's just, cranky, bad. 30 years from now will be a nightmare. Sleep. And 5, love the way you wish to be loved yourself. Love the way you wish to be loved yourself, and that's in theater. That's also called, it goes the same thing with respect. Respect others the way you wish to be respected yourself. Respect and love the way you wish to be respected. That will carry you far. It will carry you far for yourself, self-protection. For me, don't get the breast surgery. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's still not going to help your back, Shaun. It's still not going to help your back. Your back is still going to be all messed up. And just don't do it. Take care of your brain, Shaun. Take care of your brain, Shaun, because you might get multiple sclerosis. Take care of your brain. Take care of it. And if I'm going back in time, just take care of your brain. I know I probably can't stop that, but because it's probably, MS is hereditary, but check your brain. Don't regret anything. Don't regret anything. The people you thought you burned a bridge with, they care about you enough to walk over that smoldering bridge to fix it with you if they love you that much. I learned that. The older I get, the more I'm talking to people where I thought I'd never talk to again. Because some of the things you do when you're young, you just want to go, oh, screw it. I don't know if I can swear, and I really curbed that. I was very good with that. But yeah, you know, you don't have to repair the bridge. 9 out of 10, the people who need to fix it will come back to you, and they do. And fifth, for me, you see that white guy who looks like Benny Hill over there? Marry him. Marry him. Don't be a dumbass, Shaun. He is the nicest white guy you'll ever meet in your life. He is the sweetest man. He knows if he wasn't so translucent, I mean, he's beyond white. He's translucent. Love that guy. Also get lights where some of it is lower than on him and higher on you, because pictures will be a nightmare together. Your wedding pictures will be a nightmare. Other than that, that's about it. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. And yeah, if I only had one thing to say to myself was, do everything that you've done. Don't change anything. Oh, by the way, Shaun, I'm surprised we haven't exploded because we're in the same room together. Because that's the space-time continuum that we're completely messing with here. Poof, I'm gone.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if there's like a 15-minute lag time to one of us imploding, but I gotta get out of here.
Oh my gosh. I hope not.
I'm talking to myself, and my other self is like, I know, right, Shaun? I'm like, I know. Yeah. We're like discussing how right we are, and then we both implode at the same time.
It's spilled. Boom. All right. Well, thank you so much for giving us these words of wisdom. I wish we had more time, but before we jump into a little short montage, we want to promote your theater, The Ledge. I know you have a GoFundMe going. Tell us where we can find that at, how we support. Let us know.
Well, The Ledge Theater is on Kickstarter. It will be owned and operated specifically because I just got finished talking to Jeffrey Thompson, an African-American improviser who is also a tax person, who is doing all of our nonprofit 501c3. I have an amazing crew for the board so far. Roy Shockley from here, who does the Color Collective, Jeffrey Thompson, Stephen C. James, who was part of Second City, actually, and Marshall Givens, who was also part of Second City. You can find it on Kickstarter, The Ledge. We are actually officially in their We Love This project side. We are shooting for $100,000 because go big or go home. Go big or go home.
I know that's right. And support.
And and then of course, I do ridiculous things that make me laugh. Like this morning, I literally tweeted to Elon Musk. I tweeted to Elon Musk. I'm like, hey man, congratulations with joining the sketch and improv comedy community. I heard that you had some money. Since you're now part of the comedy community, well, love to get a couple of dollars from your help. Then I sent him the link. He will absolutely not.
You never know. In between commercial breaks.
I know, right? If he can be on Saturday Night Live before all of us can be on Saturday Night Live, then they need to give us money for The Ledge. That's all I'm saying.
No cap.
No cap. But since we have a short amount of time, would you guys like to play a little bit of first line, last line? Yeah.
I'm going to watch you guys do this, and I might come in. May I take my camera out?
Of
I want to
course.
see you play. I want to see you play first line, last line.
All right,
right.
guys. So you know the drill. Two people stay on. You have a little scene. You hear a line of dialogue that you like, and then you're like, last line, and then you jump in with a new scene partner, and you guys start your scene with that line. So give me two people. Two people stay on the screen. Thank you. And your suggestion is fairly certain.
I'm fairly certain you're late to class, young man.
The third time you said that to me this week. I mean, I'm coming in at the same time every day. What's the deal? Like, I'm here.
Hey, I heard if your call time is at 7:30 and it's 7:45, you're late. And it's 7:45 right now.
Bro, I had to do my hair, you know, I had to get it just right. Just for
Man,
you.
it's half done. Your head looks half done.
Last line. Your head looks half done. Half done. What? I'm giving you these lessons on how to do your natural hair, and you're just screwing it up. What's going on?
Mom, listen, this is what the kids do nowadays. They're like, you know, it's just like you just gotta just let it go, you know?
You look like a hedgehog.
No, Mom. That's the style. That's the style. Hedgehog is in.
Back
Hedgehog.
in my day, hedgehog was out. Okay.
No.
So
Okay, but Mom, you guys used to wear like perms and used to like perm it up to the side, and then, but so now what we do, we just let it go. You just gotta be free, you know, Mom. Just want to be free.
Last line. Just gotta be free, man. You know, just gotta be free.
I don't know, man. This is a lot right now. You know, I feel like I should be thinking about what I'm doing right now. You know.
Nah, bro. It's all good, man. All you gotta do is just make that 50-foot jump into the small pond. Trust me, bro. Most liberating experience of my life.
Oh my gosh, man.
Do we have a last line from Shaun?
Keep going so I can hear one.
Well, which way should I land? Should I land like on my back?
line.
Oh, okay.
So, which way should I land, Pirate Bob?
You should just jump off the plank and make a big splash.
All right, I understand that, but you see, Pirate Sue over here, along with Pirate William. Pirate William, you need a better name. You need a better name. Just if I jump off the ledge, Captain Pirate, just tell me. Will I be safe from the sharks? That's the thing I'm worried about the most, because I'm afraid of sharks.
Pirate
and you know
Sue.
how I feel.
Pirate Sue, go test the waters. Go test the waters for our new friend here. Go on.
please.
Go.
Pirate Sue, look at me. Pirate Sue, look at me. Stay here. Do you really want to be a pirate? I don't really.
Big life decisions.
I know they're massive life decisions.
Okay. I'll do
You
it.
know what I've always wanted to be, Pirate Sue.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a clown.
Last line.
Yes.
You know what? It's hard to say, but I kind of wanted to keep this to myself, but I've been thinking like, you know, once school is over, I think I'm just ready to commit fully. I think I'm ready to be a clown.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Totally. Scratch the idea of like, you know, living together and focusing on us. We could be clowns.
You're getting it. You're getting it.
Scene, yes! Awesome! Thank you guys for playing. Thank you so much again to our wonderful, wonderful special guest, Shaun Landry. Let's give some love. So much love, 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 love. Donate to her Kickstarter. We are getting 100,000. I know Elon is watching this right now. Elon, get your
Elon
wallet.
Musk. You're now part of the community, God damn it. SpaceX and improv.
Pay your dues, Elon. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Thank you for your wisdom, Shaun. And I hope y'all have a beautiful Saturday night. Woo!